Yeah, I mean, we knew it was going to be a hard push from them, and I think that's what we got. First 10 minutes, we didn't have a shot, maybe more than that, and they had, 7 or 8 or 9 or something. It's something we have to learn from, but I want to give them the credit too. I mean, that's something they were going to make yesterday right, and they came out hard, and we were just trying to answer the best we could. And I thought we did that. To only be down 1-0 and not having played a good period, and our opponent flying all over the place, at that point I felt okay.
And what was the biggest difference between last night's game and tonight's game?
Well, last night's game, Zane pucks went in the net early, and then all of a sudden it's at it's a little bit out of hand in terms of the score. Tonight we couldn't get anything to their net. I think they defended. I don't want to speak for the other team, but from my perspective, they defended much better tonight than they did last night. Their sticks were everywhere. I'm sure they outblocked shot. They had more block shots than we did, probably 3-1, 3 to our 3 times what we had. But I just think overall they defended much harder. It seemed like ice was harder for us to find tonight than it was last night, especially early.
When you think of the atmosphere, it seems like people are sensing something special this year.
Yeah, I mean, in my 9 years, we've had this before, but it's so awesome. What a great atmosphere. To me, this is what college athletics is about, and what BG hockey's about. I mean, quite honestly. I thought the atmosphere was outstanding, and I thank everybody for coming and cheering the boys on.
And just the way you guys are playing against the top teams in the country, while you guys yourselves are still coming together, does this have the makings of if things go the right way?
Well,
especially here?
We played 7 games. I think that we felt like we have a chance to be a pretty good team before the 7 games. I look back at the last 7 games, and I feel the same way right now. Does that mean it's going to be a special year? I don't know. I really like the group of kids. They stuck together on the bench tonight. Obviously, we were fighting a little bit, as we've been talking about, but there was a not going to be denied mentality. Unfortunately, we weren't able to close the game out. You give credit to your opponent. That's a big-time play by a big-time player, and it's all of a sudden a tie game. We'll have to see. It's a marathon, man, and everyone that follows college hockey knows that. There's going to be adversity. How do we handle it? There's going to be ups and downs. How do we handle that? But I feel confident about this group, and I believe they feel confident in themselves that the 18-19 team has a chance to be pretty good.
What did you see from them from a power play standpoint that you did see last night?
Ohio State? Not much. I saw the same. I mean, they've got really good players. The one, Tanner Lisinski, wasn't in the lineup tonight, but he was last night. He's one of their top players. I thought we killed penalties really well. They were 1 for 11 over the course of the weekend, and we had 2 shorthanded goals. So I didn't see anything much different tonight. They were a big-time power play yesterday, and they were a big-time power play today, and I thought we did a nice job of killing penalties tonight.
Hey, Coach, they say successful teams start from the goal out. This game and all 3 games this week, Ryan's, can you assess Ryan's performance?
I think big-time player, arguably our best player to this point. He's on top of it. He looks confident, comfortable, and he looks like he's on his game, and I agree with you 100%. The best teams out there, you can't be that without top-level goaltending, and we have that. We're deep in that position. We know Eric and Ryan both give us a chance to win every time they start, and whoever's in net. But right now, Ryan's on top of his game, and that's a good point. You don't play 3 games in a week very often, and to come away 2-0-1 against the opponents that we played, that's a pretty good week of work for Ryan Bednar. I think he's playing really well.
It looked like real estate was really hard to come out there. How would you describe the battle level?
I would totally agree. I totally agree. It just seemed like everywhere we turned. Now, in saying that, I think they may feel the same way everywhere they turned. I mean, the second period was 8 shots to 7, and I thought we were. I mean, it was hard fought. We need to be that every game. we need to compete at a certain level to give ourselves a chance. And we knew our opponent was going to be much more competitive from start to finish tonight. I'm not saying they weren't competitive last night, but the score kind of took over. I thought it was a hard-fought college hockey game. Again, I wish we would have been able to get to our game a little bit. I give them the credit for that. 15 shots to 7 in the third, down a goal. We were looking to win a period, and we gave ourselves a chance to do that. So I thought the battle level was really good against a team that I know battles really hard in Ohio State. And that's a Frozen Four team from last year. They've got a bunch of seniors, and our guys went nose to nose with them.
You talked about the teams in the past, Coach. I don't want to say taking a game off, but you're done with non-conference now, and it seems like this team, talking about chemistry, seems like they're ready to bring it every night.
Yeah, I hope so, Clint, because in the past, those non-conference games have been the Achilles heel. When you get down to the time of year where you're looking at that top 16, and because championships are hard to come by. We know we can earn we can earn our way in with a championship, but those are hard to come by, so you want to give yourself a chance. And I think we've done that with this year's non-conference schedule in terms of our results. But hopefully our guys realize that it has to be an every night thing. I mean, we're facing another really good opponent come next Friday night. Now, we don't have to worry about that right now. It's time to rest and relax a little bit, but we need to be an everyday team. And that, to me, starts in practice, because you're practicing, so every day you have an opportunity to get better. And so come Friday, you're not just turning a light switch on, okay, it's game, so we're going to start to try and focus. And that's not the way we want to operate. And this group has been good. This group has been good. So hopefully this 7-game snapshot is a pretty good indicator that we're going to get a darn good effort most nights, if not every night.
Again, I know this is a marathon, but it seems like this week you guys are moving to the top 10. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Is that for recruiting? How big
Yeah.
is it for the community? How big is it for everything?
Yeah,
How do you feel good about it?
Yeah, from that perspective, I don't want to duck away from that. That matters, because 8 years ago and 7 games, we weren't really in that conversation at all. And I want these young people to understand that their hard work is being recognized and noticed. I want them, when we talked to them in the recruiting process, it was come to BG to play in these type of games, in this type of atmosphere, and be this type of team. So your matchups are number 4 in the country versus I know that's opinion, but whatever, right? Those kind of matchups. And now they're seeing the attention. So we're not going to duck away from it. We're going to go right at it, and we're going to play to the responsibility that we have to one another and to ourselves to be that, because that's who we say we want to be. So let's not pretend these expectations aren't real. They're real. And this is what we expect. These are the situations we expect to be playing in. So I'm happy for the boys, and from a recruiting standpoint, makes us look like not liars. We don't want to be looked at as liars. You told me we're going to be playing in, those kind of things. But no, it's a work in progress, and you're always trying to be a better version of yourself as a program, as an individual team. I think it's a good thing for us to be in those conversations.
And sorry, lastly, just one bigger picture question. In other sports, basketball, it's gotten so big that the power conference schools, it's so big in the world. But because of the tradition you guys have built here, the last 2 years, the last 8 years, how cool is it to be able for BG to be able to truly dream big?
Yeah. Well, first of all, BG has reached those dreams.
Right.
Those aren't pie in the sky dreams. Those are dreams that have been reality around here with a national championship from a collective, playoff, regular season. I mean, that's the responsibility we have. So that's the coolest part about it. It's real. It's happened before. We think it can happen again. There's 60 Division I teams. The difference between 1 and 60 is a whole lot different than 1 and 350 when you look at some other sports. So, we feel like we have a chance. That's why the national tournament is always part of the conversation, because you're one of 16 at that point. One of the things I didn't answer the second part of your last question about the fans and this town and what this hockey program means to these people, and it has nothing to do with me. This hockey program matters to these people, and that is a responsibility in recruiting. When we talk to these boys, if you don't want that responsibility, you want to go somewhere where hockey doesn't matter, you won't like it here. I want to do this for the fans. They are on that list of why. And who would you be happy for? The fans. Both on campus and off. They're people that, in the days where people were struggling about how important is this program, and people stepped up and said it's really important, and then they show it on nights like tonight. And tonight wasn't exclusive. I mean, they've shown it before, but the fans around here deserve a product that they can be proud of, and I think we have that.
Last question. As well as ding dong.
No, just a coach's decision. Yeah.
Good. For questions.
How are you guys able to set that power play goal there?
The power play wasn't clicking as well as it usually was, so we just were more aware of that and just kind of sticking to it, making simple plays, and that's something we do all the time in practice. That play down to John's over the 40, so I think we pulled it off, and that's how that one ended up in the back of the net. We just stuck to it and found a way to put it in the back of the net.
Game like this, you guys had a bit of a slow start, but seemed to get better as the game went on. On the bench, did you feel that as well? You guys were still engaged?
Yeah, for sure. There's not many games. Well, we haven't had one this year yet where we're quiet on the bench or there's a negative vibe. Everyone's sitting back. We knew that they were going to come out hot and they were going to have some pushback from last night. And we didn't have the best start, but I feel like we were still mentally engaged and we were still keeping each other going. Everyone was vocal on the bench and just keeping everyone going in the same direction.
Just the PK over this weekend, how do you rate that in terms of your role on this team and how important is PK to you in your identity?
Yeah, I came into Bowling Green as a PK guy, something like that. So we got lots of guys that can kill penalties as well, and that's something we take pride in for sure. I think a lot of teams really focus on PK. It helps in a game like that, helps with momentum, gets guys engaged. That's something that a lot of us take pride in. Me, Shilly, Craig's brothers, 40. We all have that knack for killing penalties, and that's something we definitely take pride in, all of us.
How cool is it to play in front of a crowd like this today?
It's unique. We wish we could have it more often, but we understand that it's such a big game. You're going to get a big crowd. It was kind of disappointing to have to wait a couple periods to get the crowd going with a goal, but we knew once we got one, they were going to erupt, and it was just going to, push us even more. And I think that's what happened. We got the fans into it a little bit, and we fed off that.
And I know this is a marathon, but it seems like with the results of this week, probably will be in the top 10 this week. Is this? And again, I know rankings don't matter to you guys, but does this have the feel of what could be a special year for you guys?
For sure, yeah. My fourth year here, this is definitely a different feeling for me. We've had some slow starts in the past, some mediocre starts, but this is a hot start for this club, and we're scoring a lot. Our goaltending's really good. Our defense are playing well. We're defending well. Everything's working in the way we want it to, and I think it's not out of luck. I think we're working for it every day in practice. In big games like this, we find a way to show up when you need to, and I think that shows something for a team like this.
Is it crazy to wonder if you guys could compete for a national title this year?
For sure. It is a little crazy just being a WCHA team. Everyone has a hype around other conferences, and we get that. That's how it is. But, we play like that against Ohio State, who's number 4 this week, number 1 last week. So, if that's the competition out there that we need to meet or match, I think we have no problem coming in being confident against anyone we play this year.